Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about Pledge Night. This is a movie put out by Vinegar Syndrome back in, let's see here, 2019. It is a 1988 film. It runs 86 minutes, and it's a movie I hadn't heard a lot about, but I've watched it a few times now, and every time I watch it, I do enjoy it a bit more than the last. The first 42 minutes of the movie is nothing but a fraternity that all the new members and the new pledges are being hazed. They're doing these really gross things to them, making them eat bananas out of a toilet bowl and making believe it's crap, making them pick up cherries with their butts and run races, and then whoever loses had to eat the cherries, branding them, making them eat bugs, like really gross stuff. And at about the 40-minute mark, the movie completely flips the script and goes into a horror film. It's totally off the wall in regards to the first half of the film feeling nothing like the second half of the film. But I'm kind of glad they did that because I enjoy the second half of the film more. And that hazing thing with all the gags and people eating bugs sort of runs its course after a while. And I think stretching it for 40 minutes was kind of enough. So the other thing is Anthrax, the band, plays a lot of the music in the movie. They had rights to some of the songs. So I'm a fan of the band. I don't love them, but I do like them, and there are a couple standout tracks. So it is cool to hear them in a movie. And Joey Belladonna, who is still the singer for Anthrax, he had left for a while and come back, but he was the original singer in the, I think it was late 70s and 80s. Maybe it was just 80s, but he was the original singer. He's in this movie in a small part, who he plays a pledge from like 20 or 30 years ago that gets hurt in an accident at the school, at the fraternity, because they were trying to, haze him, but instead somebody did something they shouldn't have. I don't want to ruin it, and he gets killed. So that's sort of a tie into the story. Joey Belladonna just plays the pledge at that point. He's not that character throughout the rest of the film. But it's a pretty interesting movie. There is some pretty good gratuitous nudity and gore and special effects with people getting killed and stabbed and burnt. And so, if you like horror movies, I would recommend it. It's not a highbrow kind of horror movie. It's definitely lowbrow. It almost feels sort of like a trauma movie, which is funny because I did watch, and I don't normally do this, about 5 or 10 minutes of the interview with the director. I think his last name, yeah, Paul Ziller, very likable guy, by the way. And he had worked for Troma prior, editing together film stock that Troma used to buy, slap nudity and violence into, and then resell as their own movies. So it sort of feels kind of Troma-ish, but not as lowbrow and cheesy, kind of a step up from that. Not saying much, but it was a pretty good movie. I don't think it's like an amazing horror movie that needs to be watched by everyone or is on everyone's list. But if you're a low budget horror fan, they said the movie was made for $200,000, which is nothing now, and at the time was still very small. I think Pledge Night is pretty good. It's not like amazing for me, but it's definitely a good 6 or 7 out of 10. I think it's a solid horror movie. It switches gears about 40 minutes in, which was interesting. Seeing Joey Belladonna was kind of cool. Some of the special effects I liked, and the music from Anthrax was cool. So it has this, interesting story. And the negative, the scan from the negative is 2K from the 35 millimeter camera negative. I thought it looked pretty good. And it's nothing groundbreaking in terms of the story either. I don't want to make it sound like it's anything amazing, but it's decent. It would, if you had like a rental store and you went and rented this at your local Blockbuster, I think you'd have fun, watching Pledge Night with your friends and popping popcorn and stuff. So let me know, guys, if you've seen Pledge Night, what you thought. I thought it was pretty cool. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.